Hello everyone, myself Abhishek Dalo. So our today's topic is recursion. So first of all, what is a recursion? So it is a process in which function call itself directly or indirectly is called as recursion. So the corresponding function is called as recursive functions. So using recursive algorithm, certain problems can be solved quite easily. So next we will discuss what is the base condition in the recursion. So in this, the solution to the base case is to provide, and the solution of the bigger problem is expressed in terms of smaller problem. Then we will discuss how particular problems can be solved using recursion. So the idea is to represent a problem in terms of one or more small problems and add one or more base conditions. So that will stop the recursion. So for example, we can compute the factorial n. If we know the factorial of n minus 1, so the base case for a factorial would be n is equal to 0. So we can write 1 when n is equal to 0 and so on. Then we will, so why the stack overflow occurs in the recursion. So if the base case is not reached and not defined, then the stack overflow problem would be right. Then we will discuss what is the difference between direct and indirect recursion. So a function call itself is called a direct recursion. If it calls the same function, it calls as a direct recursion. So a function call itself from another function says to new function, so it is called as indirect recursion. Then we will discuss what is the difference between tail and non-tail recursion. So recursive function is a tail recursive. So when recursive calls is the last thing that can be executed by the functions. So next we will discuss how the memory is allocated to the different function call in the recursion. So when any function is called from the main, the memory is allocated to it. So on the stacks, and a recursion function, it call itself. So the memory for called function is allocated on the top of the memory just by calling a function and different copies of a local variable. So it is created for each function call. So when the base case is reached, the fundamental function return its value to its origin, and so on. So these were all about the recursion. So thank you.